Thomas is a happy little tank engine. He can pull and shunt. He loves working on the Fat Controller's railway. Every day he shunts trucks into their proper lanes. And then pulls coaches into their platforms at the station. But sometimes Thomas wished he could stop shunting and have a branch line and coaches all of his own. One day at the station, Thomas was fed up.
Hurry up with my coaches, little Thomas. The express can't wait.
Hurry up with my coaches, little Thomas. The express can't wait. Blah, blah, blah.
Come on, hurry up.
I'm getting sick and tired of shunting coaches and trucks. Why can't I pull coaches like you?
Because I'm a big engine, and big engines get big jobs. You are a small, teeny-weeny engine. You can only do small jobs.
Who are you calling small?
Just then, the Fat Controller came out of his office to stop the noise.
Thomas, behave yourself or I will send you to your shed.
But sir, Gordon called me small.
I'm not interested in excuses.
Yes, Thomas. Now make yourself useful and shunt coaches for the others.
Don't make me punish you too, Gordon.
Sorry, sir.
Then the guard blew his whistle and it was time for Gordon to go. Thomas watched crossly as Gordon steamed out of the station with the express. He wanted his own coaches.
Hello, Thomas. How are things?
Terrible.
Why?
Gordon thinks I'm too small to pull my own coaches. I'm sick of shunting coaches with that big blue show-off.
You are still a young engine and don't know much about pulling coaches.
What is then to know? I've seen Gordon and you and the others do it hundreds of times. It can't be as hard as pulling trucks. And I'm not just saying that because of a certain episode in the classic series.
Good point. But you're still too young for that job.
You're too young for that job, blah blah blah. I'll show you. I'll show you all.
Looks like somebody woke up on the wrong side of the shed this morning.
The next day, Thomas was shunting Gordon's coaches for his morning train when Gordon started rushing him again.
Hurry up, little Thomas.
Express can't wait. I know.
How did you know I was going to say that?
Lucky guess.
Soon, Thomas shunted the coaches into place and Gordon steamed off. Later, he had to do some shunting at the shunting yards with Stanley and Percy.
And then he said, little engines can only do small jobs.
You should know better than to listen to Gordon. Ever since I've known him, he's always pushing little engines like us too hard.
Percy's right, Thomas. You shouldn't let Gordon speak to you that way.
I know, but I just want to pull coaches of my own for once.
Be careful what you wish for, Thomas.
Later that day, Percy and Stanley had to deliver some trucks to the coaling plant, leaving Thomas to shunt the remaining trucks, who spotted a chance for a tease.
Poor little Thomas, too small for big work. Big fat Gordon takes him for a bird.
Be quiet!
Ow!
That evening, Thomas had finished his jobs for the day and headed back to the sheds. On the way back, he kept thinking about what it would be like if he had his own coaches.
I wish I had coaches of my own. Then I'd show Gordon I can pull passengers.
Little did Thomas know that his wish was about to come true. The points were switched to an old track, but Thomas didn't notice until it was too late.
That's strange. Don't remember this being part of the route.
It was getting darker. Thomas was scared. He had never been this far from home.
What is this place? It looks like it hasn't been used in years.
Then a thick fog was rolling in.
I don't like this. I want to go home.
Suddenly he heard a noise. A strange noise. Thomas hoped it wasn't a ghost.
Who's there?
Hey! Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle!
It's a ghost. Ah!
Thomas raced as quickly as he could, hoping the ghost wouldn't chase him.
What's his problem?
Suddenly he hit some old doors.
Oh, that hurts.
Just then Thomas heard two voices.
Is anyone there?
Who's that? Where are you?
We're in here.
Thomas saw an old shed. The voices were coming from inside it. He puffed slowly towards the shed. His driver opened the doors, and there, inside, were two old coaches. They looked very sad. Thomas bravely puffed towards them.
Hello.
I'm Thomas. Who are you?
I'm Annie, and this is my sister Clarabel. Nice to meet you, Thomas.
What are you two doing here?
It's a long story. Do you like stories, Thomas?
I love stories.
Well, this story started back when Edward pulled his first passenger train. Edward loves us to bits. He cared about us very much. He took us across the whole railway with lots and lots of tourists.
What happened then?
But as the years went by, less tourists hadn't been coming. The head of the railway, known as Sir Topham Hatt, was worried if people don't come to the railway, then it will have to close down. And this would mean we would be scrapped. Edward didn't like this at all. He didn't want us to be cut down.
Then what happened?
So Edward's crew decided to do something very, very secretly. He put us in an old shed to keep us safe. Edward was sad to leave us, but he'll be thinking about us every single day. He said his final farewells and chuffed sadly away. And when more and more trains arrived on the railway, it was back to its normal self again. But no one knows that we are still here on this very railway today.
Thomas was speechless.
So, that's how we got up here, Thomas. We feel so useless.
Oh dear, you poor things! Coaches as beautiful as you deserve to be in service.
Oh, that's the sweetest thing we've ever heard. And such from a cute tank engine too.
Thomas blushed a bright red.
In the morning, I'll take you to the repair yards. They'll make you as good as new.
Annie and Clarabel smiled.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you, Thomas.
Soon they went to sleep for the night. The next morning, Thomas coupled up to the coaches and set off for the repair yards. At the docks, the Fat Controller became concerned.
Where's Thomas? He's supposed to be shunting Gordon's coaches.
Thomas isn't really useful if he's late.
I do hope he's okay.
Just then, Thomas arrived with his new friends.
Thomas, where have you been?
Yeah, the express is waiting.
Gordon, the controller's talking.
Sorry, sir.
I got lost last night on my way home from the yards and had to spend the night in an old shed with these two coaches.
Annie and Clarabel?
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
They told me all about how they'd been left in a shed for years. Please, can they be mended and repainted again, sir?
Of course they may mend it, Thomas. Then you can pull them on a new branch line that just opened today.
Thank you, sir.
But sir, what about my express?
Oh, yes, Gordon, you'll have to collect your own coaches.
But sir, I'm too important for that job. Can't Percy or Rosie do it? They like doing small jobs.
You will do as you are told, Gordon.
So Gordon did what he was told. After 3 days, Annie and Clarabel were mended and repainted, and happily working on Thomas's new branch line.
Morning, Thomas.
Hello, Edward. Do you remember us?
Annie and Clarabel! I thought you were lost! How did you find them, Thomas?
It's a long story. I'll tell you all about it tonight. Goodbye.
See you later, Edward.
See you later, girls, and thank you for finding them, Thomas.
Edward was so happy that Thomas found Annie and Clarabel that he let off a long and happy whistle. Now, every day when Thomas and Edward meet, they would bring each other the news from their parts of the line. Annie and Clarabel would tell Edward how kind Thomas was to put them back in service. And as for Gordon, well, I think he's learnt his lesson on not to tease Thomas about pulling his coaches. Don't you?
Oh, the indignity.